The great, ornate room of the Quatermain mansion is dimly lit by a dozen candles, their flicker dancing across the high ceilings, heavy drapes, and marble floors. The Quatermain portraits loom silently on the walls. A large mahogany table sits at the center, laden with glasses of champagne and a few platters of hors d'oeuvres, smoked salmon on blinis, mini quiches, fruit and cheese, something to mark the occasion. The guests are gathered. Ronnie Bard, elegant, composed, but her eyes betray tension. Tracy Quatermain, sharp, wary. Alexis Davis, calm but alert. Ned Quatermain, quiet, thoughtful. Molly Lansing Quatermain, nervous. Brooke Lynn Quatermain, guarded. Drew Kane, ambitious, smiling outwardly. And a handful of others, family, close friends, legal advisors. Ronnie stands at the head of the table, glass in hand. The murmurs quiet into an expectant hush as she clears her throat. Ronnie, softly. Thank you all for coming this evening. I know many of you probably wondered why you were asked here, so suddenly, so formally. I appreciate you responding. But I felt it was time. Time for the truth. Tracy leans forward, sharp. Tracy. Truth, Ronnie? I hope we're not going down that road again. Ronnie offers a wan smile, but the tension is evident. Ronnie. I realize that line, again, has been used many times in this house. But tonight I promise it's different. She looks around. Alexis, Ned, Molly. Brooke Lynn shifts. Drew bristles slightly. Ronnie, continuing. In the past weeks, I've uncovered things. Things that affect this family, your legacy, and our future. A beat. Ned exhales quietly. Ned. What kind of things, Ronnie? Ronnie takes a steadying sip of her champagne. Ronnie. I discovered that the will of Monica Quatermain, the one that was executed last spring, was manipulated. Tracy explodes. Tracy. Manipulated? How dare you? The will was read, signed, probate done. Everything is legal. Ronnie. Yes, on its face it was legal. But the intent, Monica's intent, was twisted. And I believe one of us here knew about it. Knew and participated. Silence. Brooke Lynn squeezes Molly's hand. Alexis narrows her eyes. Drew's expression dims. Tracy. You're accusing us of tampering? On what evidence do you base this? Ronnie. I have records. Correspondence. Changes of mind. A letter that was never presented. I also confronted Dr. Westbourne about one of the changes, and she confirmed it. A murmur sweeps through the room. Alexis stands. Alexis. Dr. Westbourne? You went there, that means the changes were medical? Or mental state? What are you implying, Ronnie? Ronnie. I'm implying that when Monica signed that version of her will, she didn't intend to leave everything the way it ended up. And I believe someone altered her legacy, in secret. Tracy. You're playing games. I won't let you drag this family through another scandal. Brooke Lynn. Mom, Tracy, maybe we should hear her out. Tracy glances at Brooke Lynn with disdain. Tracy. I'll decide who gets the floor. Ronnie nods. Ronnie. I understand your frustration, Tracy. The reason I called you all here is because I believe it's not just about finances or assets, though those are part of it. It's about power. And about control of the Quatermain name. She takes a dramatic pause, scanning the faces before her. Ronnie, conted. Here is the part you may find shocking. The person who requested the change, manipulated the will, and stood to gain the most, is one of your own. Everyone exclaims or gasps. Drew stands abruptly. Drew. Don't you dare, you're defaming me. Ronnie. Drew, please, sit. I asked you here so we could all speak with civility. Drew's face hardens, but he sits again. Ronnie, conted. I also found evidence that the property at Ferncliff, the mansion, the art, some of those pieces were transferred under the radar. Not through the estate. Through shell companies connected to you, Drew. Drew's jaw clenches. Alexis stands as well. Alexis. Can you prove this? Or is this just some vendetta? Ronnie. I absolutely can. I have banking statements, routing numbers. And I've spoken to the attorney who handled the transfer. He's willing to involve federal investigators if this is taken further. Tracy now stands, affronted. Tracy. Why are you doing this now? Why bring it up? I know what you're doing, trying to destabilize this family because you've been sidelined. Ronnie. Tracy, I'm not trying to destabilize anyone. I'm trying to restore what was taken.
And that starts with truth. Brooklyn steps forward, voice trembling. Brooklyn.
Ronnie.
I'm your sister. I trust you. But is it possible you misread something? Mistakes happen. Secrets don't always equal crimes. Ronnie passes Brooklyn a small manila envelope. Brooklyn opens it.
Inside, photocopies of bank statements, correspondence between attorneys, emails flagged urgent, and a draft will with a different distribution.
Brooklyn. Quietly. I
didn't know.
Drew, was any of this your doing? Drew looks away.
The room is heavy.
Drew. You don't know what you're talking about. This is another Quartermain witch hunt. Let's calm down.
Ronnie, what is your objective? For starters, I want those transactions reversed. I want the Estates Oversight Committee reinstated. I want full transparency. And most of all, I want us, the family, to trust again. If this goes public, the Quartermain name, the business, may be destroyed.
Are you willing to risk that? I already weighed that risk. Yes.
I am willing. Because I can no longer stand by as a figurehead while assets are quietly siphoned and decisions made without my knowledge, without our knowledge.
You'll ruin everything we built. You think playing martyr will absolve you?
I don't need absolution, Tracy.
I need justice. Silence.
Then Alexis walks to Ronnie, placing a hand gently on her arm.
Alexis.
Ronnie, you came here to tell the truth.
I respect that. But you also must prepare for consequences. Someone is going to retaliate on an IE.
I expect it.
The tension is electric.
Ronnie turns to each person, one by one.
Ronnie. We will meet again tomorrow morning at 9.
I've arranged for a meeting with Mr. Sidwell's legal team and the estate auditors here at the mansion.
I hope you'll all attend. Tracy glares. Tracy. I'll be there. I'll be there to watch you crumble. Ronnie offers a sad smile. Ronnie. I hope you'll watch the truth rise. Thank you all for coming. Good night.
Lights dim further as the guests slowly drift out. Ronnie stands alone, looking at a portrait of Monica Quartermain, and sighs. Ronnie sits at her desk, the envelope still open.
She pulls out her phone and dials. Ronnie. To phone. It's me.
Yes, I've got the docs. Everything's ready. I'll send it now. Yes.
Thank you. She hangs up.
Stares at the desk, at the silent portrait of Monica, then closes her eyes. Ronnie, whispering. Forgive me, but I'll make this right.
The door creaks. Brooklyn enters quietly. Brooklyn.
Ronnie?
I just needed to check in.
Ronnie looks up, tired but resolute. Ronnie.
Good.
I need you on board, Brooke.
I don't want you caught in the crossfire. Brooklyn.
I'm scared, Ronnie. Not just of the threat to our family, but what might come out.
What I might have to face.
Ronnie.
I know. But we'll face it together. Whatever it is. Brooklyn sits across. She glances at the envelope. Brooklyn. Is it worse than I thought?
Ronnie nods. Ronnie.
Yes. It's worse.
The camera zooms in on the documents, the draft will, the shell company transfers, the emails marked urgent. Ronnie leans back, exhales. The portrait of Monica seems to watch over the scene.
The mansion is bathed in morning light.
The same group is gathered, Ronnie, Tracy, Alexis, Ned, Molly, Drew. The estate auditors and legal team, Mr. Sidwell's firm, are present, briefcases, folders, serious faces. Thank you all for coming on such short notice. The documents we'll go through today will show a pattern of transactions, transfers, and changes made without full consent of the Estates Oversight Committee. I invite the auditors now to present their findings. A lead auditor rises, flipping open a thick report.
Auditor.
What we have found, 5 transfers over the past 18 months, each routed through shell entities, each benefiting one primary payoff. A controlling share in ELQ, the Quartermain holding company, was quietly shifted to one person's direct control.
Gasps. Tracy covers her mouth. Alexis sets her jaw.
Auditor, conted. The draft will prepared 9 months ago shows Monica intended the shares to remain in family control, distributed evenly among her heirs.
That draft was replaced with the version you all signed.
Our investigation shows discrepancies.
You're lying. That draft is not final. Monica chose the version we signed.
Ronnie stands firm. Ronnie.
We will let the evidence speak for itself.
The auditor continues, clicking through slides, names redacted, shell companies, amounts blurred but unmistakable.
Auditor.
Further, correspondence shows that at least one attorney was instructed to suppress certain signatories, members of the Oversight Committee were not informed of changes, and one email, dated November 4th, shows someone wrote, "Make sure the board sees the version Monica approved."
It was never sent. Instead, another version went to signatory SO Ronnie. You could have gone to the board yourself. Why a public gathering? Why drag us through the mud?
Ronnie.
Because this is public now.
Because the Quartermain name deserves transparency, or else we risk losing everything Monica built.
Molly looks at Brooklyn. Brooklyn nods. Brooklyn. I
support you, Ronnie.
Drew stands and starts to walk out. Drew. This is a mistake. I'll handle this. You'll see I did nothing wrong. He storms out.
Ronnie watches him go, then turns back to the auditors. Ronnie. I want everything paused, no transfers, no new share issuances, until this is fully audited. And I propose the Oversight Committee be reconstituted with equal representation of heirs, not just those currently in power.
Alexis nods slowly. Alexis. That's reasonable. But we must be prepared for pushback. Legal action. Media. The family's reputation is at stake. Ronnie nods.
Ronnie. I understand. But I made a promise, to Monica, and to myself.
Silence fills the room.
Then Tracy sighs, exhausted.
Tracy. Fine.
We'll do it your way, for now.
But I'm watching you.
Ronnie meets her gaze.
Ronnie. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Ronnie sits at her desk, her face frazzled but determined.
Brooklyn comes in. Brooklyn.
Ronnie.
I got a phone call. From someone asking if I'd seen you tonight.
They seemed friendly. Ronnie.
Brooke, sit down. Brooklyn sits. Brooklyn.
What's happening? Ronnie.
I believe we've stirred a hornet's nest.
The people who stood to gain from those transfers, they won't sit quietly. I got threats.
Anonymous calls. Shredded bank statements showing up in the trash. Brooklyn's eyes widen. Brooklyn.
Threats? Really? Ronnie.
Yes.
You need to be safe.
I'll ask security. Locks changed. Cameras reviewed. Brooklyn takes Ronnie's hand. Brooklyn. Thank you.
I trust you.
Ronnie exhales.
Ronnie.
One more thing.
I found something else. Something bigger. The draft will is one piece. The shell company's another. But I also found correspondence between one of Monica's closest aides and an offshore trust. That trust stands to receive large sums when certain shares change hands.
Brooklyn gasps. Brooklyn. Monica never mentioned that.
Ronnie.
Exactly.
And I believe she never meant for it to happen.
Silence. Brooklyn.
Then, we're not just fighting for money.
We're fighting for her legacy. For what she stood for.
Ronnie. Yes.
For the integrity of this family.
Brooklyn nods, resolute.
Brooklyn. And we'll do it together. They share a determined look.
This scene shifts. Agents from the World Security Bureau, WSB, are reviewing the documents Ronnie forwarded. Agent Jack Brennan's voice is heard.
Agent Brennan.
We have what looks like large-scale fraud, asset laundering, and estate manipulation. If the shell companies tie back to the Quartermain holdings and the will was knowingly altered, there may be exposure to federal violation.
His partner nods. Agent partner. We'll proceed cautiously. Family legacies are messy, but we may have enough for a subpoena.
A less formal gathering now, Ronnie hosts a dinner with family and a few trusted friends. The mood is subdued. The candles still burn. The grandeur remains. Ronnie stands to make a toast.
Ronnie, thank you all for joining. It's been a difficult couple of days.
But I believe we are doing the right thing. For us, for Monica's memory, for the Quartermain name. Tracy raises her glass, albeit grudgingly.
Alexis lifts hers more willingly. Brooklyn sits close to Ronnie. Drew is absent. Ronnie, content. I know some of you are fearful.
I am too. But I also know we have the truth. And we have each other. They all drink. The camera lingers on Ronnie and Brooklyn watching the others. Alert. Ronnie, voiceover. Quietly to herself.
This is just the beginning.
The truth will come out. And when it does, we will be ready.
Late.
Ronnie is alone again in the great room. Seated at the table with the remaining hors d'oeuvres, the city lights wink through the windows.
She opens a laptop.
An email pops. Documents received. Will review at 4 o'clock EST.
She exhales. The phone buzzes.
She checks it. A text says, "Stop digging."
You don't know where this leads. Her expression hardens.
She types a reply. I know exactly where it leads.
To justice. She hits send. Then she stands. Walks over to a portrait of Monica. Places a hand on the frame.
Ronnie, you were right,
Monica. Family isn't just blood. It's trust. And I'm going to protect that trust. She turns out the lights.
The great room goes dark, the candles guttering. Drew bursts in, furious.
Drew.
How could you? Sneaking around, contacting auditors behind my back?
He faces his attorney. Drew, conted.
We're going on the offensive.
I want a restraining order on Ronnie. I want the media controlled. This isn't over.
The attorney nods uncertainly.
Attorney.
We'll review the documents. But yes, you may have to hit back hard.
Drew storms out.
Ronnie and Brooklyn meet with Alexis and Ned.
They lay out strategy.
Alexis.
We need a communication plan.
If this hits the press, and it will, we'll need to frame it as accountability.
Transparency. Not infighting. Ned. And we'll need board members.
Interim Oversight Committee established today.
I'll contact the accountants. Brooklyn.
Do we tell the other family branches? The cousins?
I don't want leaks. Ronnie. Not yet.
We tell when we're ready. Until then, we act.
Quietly. Strategically. They all nod.
Rowan's expression is firm. The room is again lit for dinner. The estate auditors are finishing their review. The legal team has spoken. A temporary board has been installed. News leaks to the media. Tracy enters, wearing a composed mask. She finds Ronnie seated. Tracy. You did what you said you would do.
Ronnie. Yes. Tracy. And I
admit, I didn't believe you.
I still don't know if I trust you fully. But you forced us to act.
Ronnie.
That's all I asked for.
Tracy sits.
She looks at Ronnie. Tracy.
This family, it's messy.
It always has been. You just brought the mess into the light. Ronnie.
Mess never vanishes.
It just hides. Better that we pull it out and deal with it. Tracy nods slowly. Tracy.
All right, sister.
You've got my attention.
In the world of power, legacy, wealth and name, truth is the only light that cuts through shadows.
I called everyone together.
I confessed. I showed the evidence.
Some walked away. Some stayed.
And yes, some may be angry.
Some may fight.
But I'll stand firm. Because this story isn't just about assets or wills or shell companies. It's about who we are and who we choose to become.
For Monica. For us. For the Quartermain name.